Hello everyone, my name is Maddie. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I am super excited because today I am going to a Halsey concert. So excited. This is the third time I'm actually going to be seeing Halsey in concert, and this is specifically for her last Trick tour. So this is based on her Great Impersonator album that came out in October of 2024. So this was kind of a last minute decision that me and Justin made. I was kind of looking at the tickets and such, but it is a little bit further from my house and it's already like 3:30 and this concert starts at 7. So I am just starting to get ready right now, but typically work well under pressure, so we'll see. I also have to pick out an outfit and all of that still, so this is literally like the very early beginning stages, but I figured I would have you guys come with me and show you my hair and makeup after it is done, my outfit, all of that, show you some concert footage, and essentially come along with me since I do make music content and I do love me Miss Halsey. I figured I'd, tell you guys how it goes, show you everything and all of that. So I will be getting ready and I will show you the finished product and I will show you what everything looks like once I am done. Okay, this lighting is horrible, but this is the look. I curled my hair really quickly. I did some makeup here so I don't look like a toad, and then this is just the fit. Oops, I don't have my shoes on yet, so that doesn't look great, but these are just like comfy, like lightweight pants because it's gonna be really hot. So this is it. I will show you more in just a bit. Okay, we are on the road. We are starting to go. It's around 4:30 right now, so I think we'll be good on time. It is gonna take us like 2 hours or so to probably get down there, plus parking and all that. But I'm feeling pretty good about it. I'm glad that we left pretty early, so I got ready in like less than an hour. So we are just starting to leave. We're getting gas right now, and then we are headed over there. So I will let you guys know what time we get there and how the parking situation is and all that, because I read online that somebody waited like an hour and a half because the parking is free at this venue. So it can get a little crazy. So I'm hoping that we get there at least like an hour or so before the show starts, which we should, because that gives us exactly 2 hours or so to get there. And hopefully, fingers crossed, parking isn't too crazy, but I'll keep you updated.
Make it any better. I think you'll be stuck here forever.
How long is forever?
A long time. A long time. Sometimes just a second.
You know, from the second I've gone down this fucking rabbit hole, I've been nothing but stretched and shrunk and scratched and tricked. I've been told who to be and where to go. Not too much, not much enough. I want to go home.
You can't. You have to do the show.
What show?
I'll show you. But you've nearly figured it out.
Hello everyone. It is the same night of the concert, so it is super late. I'm sorry, I already had to like scrub my face and put my hair up and all of that and get ready for bed because it was definitely a late night for us. We did not get back until around 1 a.m. or so because, like I mentioned previously, it's about an hour and a half plus drive for us, but this was the first opening night of the tour, so I wanted to film this video as soon as possible to let you guys know. So I first want to say that the concert was absolutely amazing. Halsey was so good. It was phenomenal. She is such an actress. She is such a performer. It was just so good. And I have seen Halsey 2 times before, and this was the best theatrical show I've ever been to her. She definitely had more of like a performance, stage presence, almost like a play aspect to it. You will see in some of the footage, I did not film too much. I don't love to film a lot at concerts because I like to be in the moment, but I did have Justin film some as well. So we have about 8 minutes or so, I believe, of concert footage that I will be putting into this video. I probably put it in right before this clip actually, just so you guys could see some of it, but essentially she had it broken up into acts. So I believe that there was 3 acts altogether, and she actually started off the show with like a whole video essentially. So it was Alice in Wonderland themed, going down the rabbit hole and all of that. And it was really nice for us because me and Justin were literally right next to the huge screen, and the screen was such good quality. This is the best quality screen I have ever seen. The cameraman was on point. She had a huge camera, was being filmed the whole time, and he was like following her around. So it was amazing quality. You will see in some of the clips. I do film that screen quite a bit because where we are seated pretty close to the stage, but we're off to the side. But we were off to the side, which had the nice huge screen. We were literally like 3 seats away from this amazing screen. So it was great. So I do want to say that she did have a lot of video elements to it that were pre-recorded. So it started off with her first checking out the rabbit hole and falling down the rabbit hole, and she started off with Darwinism. That is the first song that she started off with from The Great Impersonator. So she had that as the opening, and she's like falling down the rabbit hole, and it is all on video, and it is so good. I will say that we were in anticipation, and the video felt really long because we were all still waiting for her to come out at that point, but it was a really good video. I did like it. I love Alice in Wonderland. I am a Disney girly. You can probably see my Pooh Bear in the back there, but yeah, I did really like it. And she started off that first act, like I said, as a performance almost. So she had a whole bunch of like backup dancers. She was like chained up at one point. There was like bondage moments. There was a lot of props and set pieces, and there's almost like a vampire moment with this arch and all of that. And she did not speak to the audience at all yet at this point. So this whole first act, she didn't introduce herself. She didn't like speak to the audience. She was just performing songs. So that's how she started it off. And I will put the set list up from setlist.fm.com that I always use. I love looking at that website to see, you know, keep track of which songs that she played and all of that. And it has it broken up by acts on that set list. So I will absolutely insert a little screenshot photo here so you guys can see which song she played in which acts and how long they were and things like that. So like I said, I'm pretty sure it was only the first act. It might have even been the second act too, where like I said, she was like in completely theatrical mode where she is not speaking to the audience. She has not broken the 4th wall yet and all of that. I can't remember if it was, like I said, the first or second acts. I will see based on the set list, but like I said, I did love the performance aspects to it, and I've never been to a concert that had like that much theatrical performance to it, but I was like waiting for her to like talk to the crowd and such, and she eventually did towards like the middle of the show, even almost towards the end. That's why I believe that it wasn't until act 3 where she actually started speaking to the audience, and she, you know, expressed to us that this is the opening night of the tour and that the show was sold out. And she talked a little bit about her son and how this is the first time he has ever called her Halsey, and he's starting to, you know, kind of understand that she is like famous, I guess you could say, or that people really like her because he was with her at this show. It was also the day before Mother's Day, so that was really special too for her to, you know, speak a little bit about her son. And she also did mention her health problems. So she mentioned the health struggles that she has gone through, and that is why this newest album of hers has a lot of themes of death and darkness to it. If you are a listener, you do already know that, but she gave a little bit more of an explanation behind it. And And like I said, she just welcomed us to the opening night. She played more songs and she kind of got more like loose and a little bit less production there. There wasn't backup dancers with her much. There wasn't really much stage props. It was more just lighting, and there was like fire elements and things like that. So I would say that Act 3, the show, was more of like your typical show that you would go to. It reminded me of past Halsey concerts I have been to. And then Act 4, I believe, was just the encore, or just like the end. And she only played, I believe, 2 songs on that encore. And I will say that me and Justin were pretty smart, because we left during that last song and nobody knew really that that was her last song, because she never said, there wasn't really a situation where she like said goodnight and then went behind the curtains and then people thought it was over and then they start chanting and all of that. It wasn't that kind of situation. She literally said goodnight after that last song, and that was the actual last song based on what setlist.com said. So me and Justin got really, really lucky. I kind of just based it off of intuition, I guess you could say, because she played like 22 or 23 songs. So I knew that it was getting really long, and the parking situation was crazy. I know I mentioned this a bit in my beginning clip, and I didn't film any of the parking situation because there were so many cars and, you know, license plates and just so much chaos going on. But we did wait, I would say, at least probably 30 minutes in a super long line to park. It was backed up all the way onto the actual street. So we did wait in quite a long line, but we timed it pretty well because we got there a little bit after 6. We pulled up to this line a little bit after 6, and by the time we actually got in and walked into the venue and, you know, waited in line to scan our tickets and all of that, it was literally like 7:05. So it was kind of perfect timing. I think that the opening act was literally like playing the first song. I think we might have missed just the very first song. And with that, I want to say that she did have 2 opening acts. So the first opener was The Warning, which was an all-women, all-female rock group, a rock band. I've never heard of them before, but they were amazing. They were all sisters and they were iconic. I love female like rock, punk, pop, all of that. I love it. They were so good. They played their instruments, and you know, there's a lead singer, and one of the sisters was on the drums. I believe they said that was the middle sister, and then the other sister was on guitar. So they were so good, but only played for 20 minutes. It was crazy. I feel like I've never seen an opening only go for 20 minutes, even though there was 2. They only played like probably, I guess, maybe 5 songs, like 4 or 5 songs, and we missed the first song. So we did not hear much from them, but again, I wish we heard more from them, because I will say that the second opener was not my favorite. Just not as much of my personal vibe. Of course, you know, music is so subjective, but the second opener was Del Water Gap, and they were an all like male group, but they were not very rock, so they were definitely more on the pop side. The best way that I could describe it, their music was almost like Shawn Mendes, kind of like the Stitches era of Shawn Mendes, if you know what I'm talking about. It was kind of giving that vibe, so it was definitely more of like a really pop heavy sound to it, while they also had some synth in there, but they also were playing the drums and the guitar. But there's also a lot of slower songs that he played, and that set went on for much longer. At least I would say double the first opening female band. So they played for a long time. I would say probably more like an hour. And at that point, me and Justin were kind of just like waiting for Halsey, because we'd already seen 2 openers. It was definitely getting later at this time, and I believe that she came on around 8:45, I would say. Honestly, it might even be closer to 9, because they did have the video that played before she came on. So it was probably closer to 9 by the time that she finally came on, because I know I looked at my phone and it was already after 8:30. I believe she probably actually got on around 9 p.m. I'll try again to double check the timestamps on this, but that seems like it's the right time. So she got on at 9 p.m. and then ended pretty much right at 11 p.m. I believe, maybe a couple of minutes after, but I know that is around the time that me and Justin started leaving. And like I said, we got super lucky, because literally while we were almost to the car, like we were pretty much right hitting the parking lot, is when she was saying goodnight to everyone. So we timed it perfectly. I was a little bit upset because I thought that I might have been missing quite a few songs. I thought that she still had a whole encore to do, and she didn't play Ego at all, which is one of my favorite songs on The Great Impersonator, but she played so many other songs that I love that I felt okay leaving, because I knew that the traffic trying to leave this parking lot would have actually been insane. So, you know, I bit the bullet and we decided to leave a little bit early. And like I said, it was perfect timing because we only missed like half of that last song, if anything, like not even the full song. And I believe that it was from The Great Impersonator. Again, I think it might have been the title track of the album. I think it was The Great Impersonator song. I'll have to double check on which one that was exactly, but I knew that it wasn't like my favorite, so I was like okay with leaving. And like I said, we timed it literally perfectly because we had like 2 minutes of traffic getting out, and I cannot imagine what it would have been if we would have stayed and tried to leave when everyone else was leaving. And like I said, we literally heard her saying goodnight to everyone while we were getting into the parking lot. So I'm really thankful for that because we had a long drive ahead of us. With that being said, I loved the songs that she chose. She played a song from every single album of hers. Of course, she had quite a few from The Great Impersonator, but she also had quite a few from Badlands, which, if you do not know, that is her debut album from 2015 that I absolutely love from her. It is literally like my favorite album by her. It is the album that made me fall in love with her. So she played quite a few from that album and I loved it. It was pretty much all of my favorite songs. I will say she did play Colors, Gasoline, Drive, which was a bonus special song that she even said she is going to be changing up that song at every concert. And the fact that she played Drive at our concert did so much for me because if you do not know, I absolutely do love that song, but I know it's not super big by her and I honestly was not expecting her to play it. But I literally was listening to it and played it on the way in and I showed Justin it and I told him, you know, this is one of my favorite songs by her, and I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it on this channel before when I opened my Badlands vinyl record. So let's just say that I was probably like the most excited person in the crowd when she started playing that song. I literally was like, oh my god, is this Drive? And like screamed it out loud, and I screamed it a little bit louder than I thought I did because the people behind me like literally were like, yeah, it's Drive. Like they heard me, but I got so excited and it was so good, and I definitely did record that one. So let's just say I am so glad that she played that one at our show because it didn't get the best audience reaction, and she even made a comment about that. So I do not think she is going to be playing it much more on this tour, but I'm so glad she played it at our tour. And then from Hopeless Foundation Kingdom, I think the only one she played were Alone and Bad at Love. I think those were the only two that she played from that album. She did not have that many songs from that album, if I'm not mistaken. And then from Manic, she played Graveyard, You Should Be Sad, and Without Me. Some other notable songs that she played were I Am Not a Woman, I'm a God. She also played Nightmare, which was again at the top of my list. That is one of my absolute favorite songs by her, and it is so, so good live. Like she was getting it at this point because that is a rock anthem. One of my absolute favorite songs by her, and I really want her to play it, and she did. Nightmare is so, so good, so she played that as well. And then of course from The Great Impersonator, she played a good majority of them. I know she played Dog Years and Lonely is the Muse, which again I was hoping she would play because that is my favorite song from that album. And then she also played The Only Girl in LA, Darwinism, like I mentioned, and a couple of other ones. I know she played quite a few from that album, which of course this is the tour for that album, so that makes sense. But I would say that Badlands and of course The Great Impersonator were the two albums that she played the most songs off of, which again I appreciate because I absolutely love Badlands. And I know that it has been 10 years since that album came out, so I didn't know how many she was going to play, but I absolutely ate it up. Okay, so that is it for my vlog slash review and just rambling on about the Halsey concert. Again, I'm so glad that I was able to go and that we decided to go last minute because it was her opening night and it was just such a special moment and a special concert, and she played so many songs and literally played like my favorite songs. The only one that she didn't play that I was looking forward to was Ego, I would say. That was really it. So grateful that we were able to go and get pretty good seats for a good deal. And I'm glad I was able to see her for the third time. Okay, so that is it for me. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you did enjoy, please remember to like and subscribe. I make pop culture, pop rock, vinyl related videos, and I would love for you to join us. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you guys so much. Please let me know down below if you are planning on going to a Halsey concert, if you have been to one, and maybe what songs you are looking forward to her playing. I would love to hear from you. Okay, thank you so much. Have a good rest of your week and take care. Bye-bye.